All right, guys, we have a major news flash. So, I know some of you guys have been checking the channel out and you're like, all right, G35 build's pretty cool, moves a little slow, you haven't been updating all the time. What's going on? Where's the content? I got you covered. Don't you worry. I got you covered, okay? I'm going to show you, in case it wasn't enough, because it's never enough for you guys. In case it wasn't enough to have one project car sitting in the garage, all torn apart, parts scattered everywhere, I'm going to show you another project that just came in last night. And I think this one, I hate to say it, stereotypically this one should blow the channel up. Maybe, maybe not. We'll find out. But it starts with 2 and ends with Z. Can you guess? I'm sure you guys can guess. Whoa! Alright, guys. Just to satisfy all your bubbles, we're going to just give you a quick walk around. If you guys don't know what kind of car this is, you're probably not my ideal audience. I didn't mean that as an insult, I promise. But this is a pretty iconic car. It was a very cool car. Back in its day, if you didn't want to buy a Toyota and you wanted something luxurious, you know what you could buy? The Toyota Supra's older brother that's slightly overweight but has some good facial features. That's called an SC300, in case you guys didn't realize that. SC300. Now, the SC300 came with, you guessed it, not Lexus, it's built by Toyota, 2JZ. All right, I'm not going to glorify this thing. This is a bone stock, naturally aspirated, first gen 2JZ. Nothing special about it. However, what is special about the engine, I shouldn't say nothing, it does share the same bottom end as all the other 2JZs, which means horsepower. Just to give you guys a quick walk around here, so, yeah, I'm not a fan of the light thing either, but that's neither here nor there. Don't run his license plate. Anyways, some stickers on the windshield. We're sitting on some nice wheels. See, these are actually not copycat wheels, or not, what's the word I'm looking for? Fake. Yeah, you can actually read the logo there. You see that? So, this car's not clean. I'm sure he's going to be salty that I am doing a walk around on a dirty-ass car of his, but you know what? So be it. I will tell you what, though. The interior is fucking clean. Super clean. Like, look at this. Like, very, very clean. So, you'll see it's already got a race seat in it. Everything else, bone stock. Now, this car was originally an auto. He swapped it to manual. Now, it's not an R, it's a W, but, it can still hold some power. So, long story short, this is going to be the new channel project. And this is going to move a lot faster than that project. So, just to give you guys a quick breakdown on what we're doing here. All this shit's getting deleted. All of it's gone, okay? Big single turbo manifold. Delete all the stock unnecessary stuff. Delete the distributor. Get a standalone. Wire the standalone. Coil unplug. New intake manifold. New radiator. Well, okay, engine bay-wise, it'd be easier to say what's staying stock. What's staying stock is going to be the battery, the brake system parts, including the ABS modulator over there, and maybe some of the fuse boxes. Okay, everything else getting changed. So, already in the works, guys. Parts are on order. They will be showing up. We're going to gut this thing out. We're going to get some room. We are actually going in. And when I say going in, we're not going all the way in. We're not actually building the block, but we are going to be pulling the head. We're pulling the head, turbo head gasket, 2.5 mil head gasket. It's going to lower our compression ratio, set us up to run a turbo on it. And we're going to run ARP head studs, and we're going to get a new T-belt on it, and the manual locking tensioner that doesn't, get loose while you're ripping on it. This mechanical fan is going bye-bye because that's a good way to sling a piece of plastic through something very expensive. You guys get the drift. So, speaking of drift, this car will probably do pretty mad drifts when it's done. Now, also speaking of drift, if it wasn't enough to have, a disaster. There's no other way to, it's a disaster. That's all it is. Eventually, it won't be a disaster, but right now it is. So, it's not enough to have, one car all torn apart. This car is getting all torn apart, so we're going to run out of space really quick in here. The basement's already hemorrhaging with G35 parts. Now, it's not enough, right? You guys are like, oh, more content. Okay, well, I got something else for you too. Unfortunately, it doesn't fit in the garage because the wife parks in the garage, but we'll show you what's outside here. So here is car number 3, just for you guys. All right, it's kind of a pain. In case you didn't realize, it's still winter in Minnesota. You got to cover this kind of crap up. All right, I will humor you, even though I hate taking this off. Now, before I show it off, can anyone guess by the shape of the car? Come on, you guys, you should be able to guess that. Come on, easy. Bang. There she is. So, this was a lovely one. This one got towed over here. I don't know this guy at all. I've never had a single conversation with him. He found out I do this kind of stuff and decided to bring me his car, which you can clearly see has been sitting out in the elements with open dumps on it, which I don't know how I feel about that or the rest of it. But this was at a tuner shop, and they wired in a Haltech Elite and did, the standalone conversion for the wire harness. And now, every time he tries to start it, blows the ignition fuse. And that Haltech Elite, which I have inside, I'll show you, smells literally like it started on fire. So I got to send that in, have them look at that. And then I'm going to have to sort out the wiring issues because no idea how many wiring issues this thing has. But here's the best part. So they did a bunch of mods on this, or, fix some stuff up. And wired in a standalone and told him that he's got to bring it to get tuned and that somebody else can figure out the wiring issues. Maybe that's not what the conversation was. That's what he told me, the first conversation we ever had after he dropped the car off. And so if you guys look, it's got a stock fuel rail on it. Now, they did do the luxury of, converting it over to an AN style, but a stock fuel rail, and there is no fuel pressure regulator on it. Thought I'd show you guys the setup in the light. Just your classic drift car. Interior is pretty clean. Cool little car, actually. Little 240. So yeah, I think we're gonna have to send the module out. Drop this off a few days ago. It's nice today, so we're out here looking at it, but I think I might have to send that module in because I can't get it to talk. I can't get it to turn on. I could start just going through all their freaking wiring that they did, but I'm not about to do that because at one point, I guess it did work, or maybe it didn't. Don't really have any info from the guy, but we'll test the module first, send it into Haltech. At that point, if the module's still, you know, if they send it back and they're like, hey, the module's fine, then we'll start going through the wire harness. But till that point, got to send that out, and then we will come back to it. So actual moral of my story is get ready for Jay-Z video, Jay-Z video, Jay-Z video, Jay-Z video, Jay-Z video. It's what it's going to be for like the next couple months, few months, something like that. So I know a lot of you too are probably wondering, how much power is it going to make? Because that's everyone's first question. You say 2JZ, you say turbo, and people just go, how much horsepower? How much power is it going to make? How much? I'll explain. So what we're going to do is we are going to more than double the factory wheel horsepower, okay? So for those of you driving around NA, that means naturally aspirated. It means it does not have a turbo over there. NA 2JZs, especially first gen, very low on power. This thing probably makes 200 wheel, maybe, like downhill, like downhill with a backwind. So what we're gonna do is we're shooting for 500 wheel. And where we came up with that number, and I already know people going, 800, 1,000. No, we don't need to go that crazy. This is a stock block. It has plenty of miles on it. Okay, so this is like an experiment. We're going to throw a boost at it, and we're going to see how it handles the boost. So the goal is to run 500 wheel horsepower out of this slightly tired 2JZ. And the best part about this build, it came with a free Irwin screwdriver. You can never have enough of these, especially the pre-rusted model. Really doesn't get any better than that. So keeping it, mine. Add it to my collection. Got a lot of other parts to order, so I'm gonna hop off here. I'm gonna go spend like $8,000 on parts to get started, and then we're gonna wait for everything to show up, and then we're gonna build it. So stay tuned. You've been watching, the sign's never on. Every time I do this, the sign's off, and then I'm like, oh, I forgot to plug it in. You know what it is. You've been watching Pete's Garage. Subscribe to the channel, though, for real. So many, 99% of my views, 99% of the views, you guys aren't subs. Why? Just click the button. It's easy. All right. I'm rambling now, so we're out. I'll see ya.